Welcome back, everybody. It's so nice to see you guys again. So nice to see you. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do our second lesson. This is actually lesson 4, but this is our second lesson that deals with adding details to a sentence. So before we start, I want you to take a look at this picture. Take a look at this picture. And every time I take this big paper clip and I put it down, you can go ahead and pause if you need to talk or write or read. You can go ahead and do that. So I want you to take a look at this picture, and I want you to share with your classmates what are things you see. What's going on in this picture? What are maybe some of the items you see? What's going on? And if you're by yourself, go ahead and talk to yourself out loud and say what you see. Excellent, excellent, great job. So here went ahead and I wrote a sentence about this picture. And this is my sentence. My sentence says, the girl is baking cookies. The girl is baking cookies. Can you read the sentence with me? The girl is baking cookies. Excellent. Can you read it by yourself out loud? Excellent. So before we get started, I thought it might be a good idea for us to go ahead and make a little list. So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and get a piece of paper, and this is the paper that you're going to use to upload, and I want you to fold it in half. I want you to fold it in half. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So here we go. This is going to be page 1 of what you upload. Page 1. You could even write page 1 of what you're going to take a picture of and upload onto Google Classroom or whatever it is your teacher wants you to do. All right, so here we saw a girl. Here we saw a girl baking cookies. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to number this paper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want us to focus on the word bake or baking. Bake or baking. Go ahead and copy that. Perfect, perfect. Now I'm going to ask you to pause and I want you to think of some things that you bake. When you bake, you're making food in the oven. It's different from cooking. Sometimes you cook food in an oven or a stove, but what is it that you can bake? Bake. So for example, in our sentence, we know that you can bake cookies. I'm going to go ahead and have you pause and please share ideas of things you can bake and go ahead and write them down. Don't worry about the spelling. Spell them any way you think you could. And if you can't get all the way to 5, that's okay, especially if you're by yourself. What I would like you to do right now is pause and tell me different things that you can bake. Excellent. I heard some very delicious ideas. Oh my gosh. Maybe brownies. I love brownies with walnuts. Delicious. This is my list. My list is probably different from your list. I thought I heard someone say a cake. A cake. You do not have to copy mine, but you can if you want. But you do not have to copy mine. You know what else I really like that's baked? These are all kind of sweets, aren't there? Aren't they? Muffins, like blueberry muffins, chocolate chip muffins, bran muffins can all be baked. Baked. And let me think of one more. Oh, how about just bread? Freshly baked bread. Oh, here are some things. If you did not finish all 5, if you do not have 5 things, we can go ahead, pause, and you could go ahead and finish your list or copy my list. Okay, remember, every time we use this paperclip, you're going to pause and unpause. Excellent. Now we're going to go back to our awesome picture. This is an awesome picture. I really like it. And we see the girl here baking cookies. We see her rolling pin and a little pan here, maybe for some bread. Maybe she's not baking cookies. Maybe she's baking some type of sweet thing. I'm not entirely sure. I just put cookies. So here we're going to have this picture. But since we did focus on cookies, I want you here on the bottom of this page, I want you to write cookies, cookies. And I'm going to ask you to once again put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Excellent. And now that you have this set up, I would like you to share with the class or share with your group or just share out loud by yourself, but talk to yourself, right? You can talk out loud. It helps practice. It helps you practice English. I want you to share with the class different types of cookies. Oh, there's all kinds of different types of cookies, aren't there? I heard all kinds of cool things, right? Especially if you're from different parts of the world. Different parts of the world have different cookies, right? I know one of my favorite cookies, I grew up in San Francisco, and we would always go to Chinatown, and we would get fortune cookies. And we'd get the fortune cookies that didn't have the fortune, they were just flat. And I love those cookies. We would get fortune cookies. I heard you guys say some really cool things. You can, I want your list to look different from mine. So whatever type of cookies you listed, go for it. I thought I heard someone say peanut butter. Peanut butter. And who can forget the best? One of my favorites, chocolate chip. Oh my goodness, chocolate chip cookies. My favorite is the chocolate chip cookie from Peet's Coffee. That's my favorite chocolate chip cookie in the world. Chocolate chip. Oh, and I don't know how to spell this, but I never knew about this cookie when I was little, because in my house and in my culture, we didn't really eat this kind of cookie. But as a grown-up, I discovered snickerdoodles. I think this is how you spell it, but I'm not sure. Snickerdoodles? Can you say that? Snickerdoodle? Snickerdoodle? Say it with me. Snickerdoodle. Sounds a little funny, huh? They're kind of cinnamon and sugar, and they're delicious. Excellent. And here, how about what kind of cookie? Oh, I'm going to put my least favorite cookie. I don't really like this cookie, but some people like raisin cookies. I didn't say list your favorite cookies. I just said list cookies here. So these are different type of cookies. Even though your list might look different than mine, I'm going to have us read it out. But first, let me go ahead and pause so you could take as much time as you need to make your list. Maybe your list says chocolate chip. That means it's chocolate on the outside and chocolate on the inside. Maybe you just like sugar cookies. Maybe you like oatmeal cookies. There's all kinds of cookies, powdered cookies. There's all kinds of cookies. Okay, so before you are going to turn in your list, but let's go ahead and let's read. I'm going to read mine. You could read with me out loud my list. Okay, so we're going to start with our list of things that we bake. We're reading mine out loud. You can unmute. If you are a part of our fabulous virtual academy, you can unmute and say these words with us. Cookies, brownies, cake, muffins, bread. Let's read that again. Cookies, brownies, cake, muffins, bread. Perfect. And now we're going to read my list out loud. You're going to read with me out loud. You can unmute or say this out loud in your classroom. if you're in a live setting, and go ahead and read this list of cookies. Fortune cookies, peanut butter, chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, raisin. Let's read it again. Fortune cookies, peanut butter, chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, raisin. Excellent. Now I'm going to pause and I'm going to ask you to read your list out loud to your teacher or wherever you are. You read your list out loud. Perfect, perfect. Now we're going to go on to page 2 of our activity. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. The first thing I want you to do is take another piece of paper and fold it, and fold the paper. Okay, you're going to take another piece of paper and fold it. Perfect. Okay, so here's your paper, and here on the top, you're going to put a line down the middle. You're going to draw a line down the middle, and you could also draw a line where you folded it. Don't worry about this right now. We're just worried about the top. Where you folded it, you could put a line, and then you could put a line down the middle. Okay. And if your lines don't match my lines, that's okay. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for participation. So here, I'm going to ask you to write 2 words, girl and cookies. Girl and cookies. Go ahead and write those words. Excellent, excellent. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to write page 2 because there are 2 pages you're going to have to upload or turn in today, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to my picture, and I'm going to find some words like we did last time. I want some words that describe the girl. I want some words that describe the girl. I'm going to go ahead and put some bullets right here. Why don't we have three words that describe the girl, and then 3 words that describe cookies. Okay, we're going to do 3. These are called bullets. So 3 little dots. Okay, here we have the girl. Can you go ahead and say out loud a few words that describe the girl? Perfect. Okay, so the girl, I think I heard someone say blonde. Blonde. She has light hair, yellowish hair. She has blonde hair. She looks kind of young. She looks like a young girl. So she's young. She's little. She's or small. She's small. Your words could be totally different from my words. What else could describe the girl? She's working, right? She's not just sitting around. She is working. She is working. And look at her face. Does she look mad? No, she doesn't look mad. She looks happy. She looks content. Ooh, I like that word, content. So, I mean, she's not jumping up and down for joy. She just seems happily at peace. She's at peace with herself, doing something she likes to do. She likes to bake cookies, right? So these are my words. Your words may be very different from mine. They may be very different from mine, and that's okay. You know what I'm noticing right now? I'm noticing her hair. This word, when you have a hair that comes up front like that, did you know that those are called bangs? So she has bangs. She has bangs. Okay, I'm going to pick 3 of these things, 3. And you're going to pick 3 of yours. Maybe some of yours are the same as mine, but hopefully you have a few that are different as well. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them on our list. So I'm going to put the girl is content or happy. Content. She's happy. I'm going to put a little smile there so I remember what content means. I'm going to put that she's young. And I'm going to put that she is blonde. She is blonde. blonde is a good word. So basically blonde means yellow hair or light hair, okay? Blonde hair. Excellent. So now this might be a little bit harder because we can't see a lot of this mix, this dough that she's making. So we're just going to come up with words that describe cookies. So maybe you could think of your list. I'm going to think of this. I think out of these, I really like chocolate chip. So think of a couple of words that describe cookies and share them with your class or your group, or just say them out loud. Oh, I heard lots of words that describe cookies. All right. Well, go ahead and now write down 3 of those words. Great job. My words are going to be delicious. I'm thinking of my favorite Peet's Coffee chocolate chip cookie. You know, my son used to work at Peet's Coffee and he'd always bring me back a chocolate chip cookie. I miss those days. Delicious. I'm going to put soft because I like the soft cookies. And I think for my cookies, I think I'm going to sweet, because definitely it was very sweet. Maybe you put rich, maybe you put crunchy if you're more into like the fortune cookie type texture. There's all kinds of words that could describe cookies, especially if you picked a specific type of cookie like peanut buttery. All right, so now we've done this. In case you need to catch up, let's pause. Okay, so now this is the original sentence here. So now we're on the bottom half of the page. Okay, the girl is baking cookies. I want you to write, ignore this. I want you to copy that original sentence. Don't forget a capital T and don't forget a period at the end. And here you make sure everything is spelled right because you are copying it. Go ahead. Okay, so this is the original sentence. The girl is baking cookies. And the directions, once again, rewrite the sentence with more details. So I think the easiest thing would be to find the nouns, and the noun is a person, place, or thing. What's a noun? Person, place, or thing. What's a noun? Good, person, place, or thing. So here we have girl, which is why I wrote girl up here. And here we have cookies. Thing, person, okay? So which is why I wrote cookies here. I think the easiest thing to do when we rewrite a sentence with more details is to go ahead and describe the noun. So that when you describe a noun, that's an adjective. So I could put something like the content girl or the happy girl is baking sweet cookies, right? The young girl is baking delicious cookies. It doesn't have to be on the list. It doesn't. What if the young girl is baking delicious baking delicious peanut butter cookies, or the young girl is baking peanut butter cookies and chocolate chip cookies. There's all kinds of ways you could use your ideas from here. The blonde girl is baking brownies and cookies. The blonde girl is baking cookies, brownies, and cake. Mix it any way you want. Use either of your lists, or you could even use some ideas from the picture and pause this video whenever you want and go ahead and make this boring sentence, boring, make this boring sentence a little more interesting by adding some more details, okay? And remember, you don't want to make it super long. Adding a few words would be perfect. By the way, you should be, so you could write here, you can make lines if your paper doesn't have lines. You could just write it right here. You don't have to write the directions. These are the directions. Rewrite the sentence with more details. So go ahead and rewrite it with more details. Excellent. So now you should have a sentence here. Don't forget your sentence should start with the capital and then with the period. And now I want you to share your sentence out loud with other members of your class or your group or by yourself. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and write mine. I'm gonna change content to happy. I'm gonna say the happy girl is baking big, I'm gonna say big chocolate chip cookies. The happy girl is baking big chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna put a comma there. Why don't you read my sentence with me all together? Go. The happy girl is baking big chocolate chip cookies. Why don't you read it out loud and just follow my finger? Excellent. You're going to take your 2 pages, page 1, where we had the list of things that you can bake and the list of cookies, and then page 2, where we had describing words that refer to the girl and to the cookies. And you're with your new sentence, you're going to take these 2 pages, you're going to upload them to Google Classroom or do whatever your teacher assigns you to do. Bye-bye. See you next time.